The Goat Who Wore Silk. The winter moon hung over the Bavarian village of Oberkalt like a frozen eye, casting long skeletal shadows across the cobblestones. It was the night of Fasching, the season of masks and madness, but a strange silence had fallen over the square. Raban stepped from the darkness of a narrow alley, his presence a jarring note of elegance amidst the rustic stone. He wore a suit of ivory silk that caught the moonlight like a glacier, and upon his shoulders sat the heavy horned head of a goat, its glass eyes reflecting the cold stars above. As Raban walked, the air around him hissed. He did not leave footprints in the light dusting of snow. Instead, he left blackened, steaming rungs on the granite. The subtle scent of sulfur and crushed violets trailed behind him. He paused beneath a stone archway, his gloved hands adjusting his silk cuffs. Beneath the fine fabric of his trousers, the sharp, rhythmic click of cloven hooves echoed against the walls of the silent church towers, a sound far too heavy for any man. Near the village fountain, Walburga stood watching the revelers from behind a pale porcelain mask. She was dressed in a traditional dirndl of deep crimson velvet, her braided hair pinned tightly beneath a dark cap. While the other villagers laughed and drank, she felt a sudden, icy chill that had nothing to do with the wind. Her eyes were fixed on the figure in the silk suit, whose movements were too fluid, too predatory to belong to any neighbor she knew. Raban crossed the square with a predatory grace, the crowd parting instinctively as if sensing a predator in their midst. He stopped before Walburga and bowed, a slow, mocking gesture that made the silk of his jacket whisper. He extended a hand toward her, his fingers long and needle-thin inside their white gloves. He did not speak, but a low, rhythmic vibration emanated from his chest, a sound like a purr mixed with the grinding of ancient stones. Walburga took his hand, and the heat of it burned through her glove. They began to dance, a distorted polka that moved in a frantic, uneven rhythm. As Raban spun her through the shadows of the church, the muted colors of the carnival, dull ochres, faded blues, and muddy greens, seemed to bleed into the darkness. The music of the distant fiddlers grew sour and dissonant, matching the frantic clicking of Raban's hooves against the stones. The dance grew more violent, and Raban's goat mask seemed to come alive. The painted jaw twitched, and a long, obsidian tongue flicked out to taste the freezing air.